We're here.
We're here.
All right.
Do you want to fire it away?
Yeah. So welcome back, everybody, to episode 3 of the Rising Tide podcast with your hosts, Kyle and Riley. Today we have on Greg Dobson. We're going to give him a second here to sort of introduce himself, but Greg is the chair of the Jordan Boyd Foundation, established in honor of his late brother, Jordan. So yeah, I mean, I'd love if you could tell us about that and tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm definitely the of the two of us, I was the least athletically gifted when it came to hockey. But Jordan was my younger brother. He was 5 years younger than me, and really, what I do is I sort of chair the Jordan Boyd Celebrity Hockey Challenge and now Golf Challenge events, and really sort of work using my skills and whatever I can to create events that will honor Jordan and essentially create a impact on heart health for him. So really that's kind of, it's a jack of all trades kind of role, but figuring it out as I go.
For sure. I know you mentioned earlier you have a background in marketing. Do you feel like that has sort of helped you in that sort of process of developing the tournament?
Yeah, definitely. Like, when I started, I think it was like in 2014, the first thing I did was created a quick logo, and I've always loved design. Design's been something, whether it's designing hockey jerseys or if it's designing logos, that sort of graphic design side is something that I've always loved. So I kind of poured some passion from there, and then learned a few things from agencies that I've been at along the way, and just found ways to apply things that I would do in my everyday 9 to 5 as ways to help promote the event through the years. So it's definitely helped a little bit, but you learn pretty quickly when it comes to event management. There's so many things you don't know, and it makes you get pretty humble pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely. We've been to a couple of these sort of big events, and we're just obviously, as the media team, we're sort of always like a pretty small piece of the puzzle, but just seeing the behind the scenes, you kind of get all access to these things, and it's crazy. I do not envy anyone who's in charge of scheduling events because there's 1 million things that you need to think about, but when it comes together, it can be pretty special. Yeah. Like the event that we were at over the summer, the first golf tournament was really very fun. So,
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I can see how that would be very satisfying.
Yeah, a lot of work going into it, but then you get to that day, and then it's kind of all the planning leading up, and then as soon as that day happens and you jump into it, it's like, okay, like we're here. Like, I probably shouldn't use this analogy, but I think about it like my wedding, and it's like there's all this stress planning all the way, but then as soon as the day starts, it's like, well, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and you're just in it now. So. And it usually turns out well. In both occasions it did, so shout out to my wife for that.
There we go.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
That is great.
I think just to dial it back a little bit too, just because not all of our listeners or viewers necessarily know where the foundation came from. So maybe if you could kind of give just a quick kind of explanation on what the Jordan Boyd Celebrity Challenge was, and kind of why the Golf Challenge came to be.
Yeah, sure.
If you could kind of touch on that, I think would be.
Yeah, so I guess I could sort of give a quick overview of, sort of why we're doing this all with Jordan. And so back in 2013, Jordan was at training camp in Bathurst, and in between some drills, he had collapsed on the ice and, unfortunately had passed away shortly after. And it was just one of those things that you never imagine happening. And, we came to learn out after the fact that he had a heart condition that we never knew of, and we didn't have any known family history. So, essentially a year later, when it came to, that first anniversary of someone passing, it's always difficult. And we said we wanted to find a way to celebrate his life, and he would want smiles on people's faces and for them to be laughing and remembering good times. So, hockey was it. And so we, just by chance, I happened to be at a party, and Brad Marchand and Andy Bodnerchuk were there, and I said, we'd love to have you guys come out one day and just play a game of hockey, and it kind of snowballed into something bigger than we expected, and so the idea was just a hockey tournament that one day, and you had teams fundraise, and they'd have a pro player play on their team. You'd get to draft them based on your fundraising efforts, and it all went to support the Inherited Heart Disease Clinic at the QE2, which is where I've had heart surgeries. My mom has had some items that she's had done with a defibrillator put in, and our whole family's been monitored ever since Jordan passed. So really that sort of built up over a couple of years, and partnering with the QE2, they helped us elevate the event every year to another level. And after COVID sort of struck, it was like, how do we actually go and do this? So we had a year where we didn't have an event and weren't sure if we were going to be able to continue. And golf really seemed to pick up. Everyone was excited about golf. I'm not a good golfer, but I love going out and playing.
Yeah,
and
that's
a great excuse to be outside, right? So we decided we said we'd kind of change gears, and we did golf, and it was another record-setting year last year, and I think it just speaks volumes to the community. So on the other side of things, the Jordan Boyd Foundation really was started by my brother-in-law. Cody had organized an auction, and we had no idea that any of this stuff was coming to begin with, the hockey challenge or golf challenge, and it raised over $70,000. And we said, okay, well, we need to do something with this and be responsible with how we're going to do that. And so the Jordan Boyd Foundation was created, and we've given out, I think, over $40,000 in scholarships, and there's been a number of defibrillators that have been installed even down here on the waterfront in Halifax that are, operating all year round, and some other really cool initiatives. So it's been something where there's a lot of little things that we're doing, and some bigger things with the Inherited Heart Disease Clinic, and it all sort of works together in unison to be able to say, maybe we can move the needle a little bit in terms of inherited heart disease research or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's a remarkable story, I think, and obviously it's kind of cliche, but if I feel like it's one of those things where if you can even help one other person, it's worth it. And
yeah,
I didn't know Jordan that well. I trained a little bit with him. He's my brother's age, so we did a little bit of dryland training in the summer, and just such a happy-go-lucky guy, right? Yeah. He's always chirping, always having a good time, and I think that the way in which you guys have been able to sort of honor that memory and give back to the community and sort of help, it's helped you guys, obviously. It's helped countless other people, and I think that's really amazing. And, it's a very cool event. And, I think the whole hockey community is super proud of what you guys have done.
For sure. It really goes to show, like, how strong the hockey community is, too.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, whenever there's a tragedy in the hockey community, it's so quick to come together, and you forget that you're on separate teams, and everybody's back, kind of humbles everybody and brings everybody back to home base. And it's when we were at the golf tournament this past summer, it just, Kyle and I was like, we felt like we belong there. Like, we both obviously grew up in the hockey community, and just seeing all those faces and those smiles, like, obviously for us, it was just great to be there, and it was really just fun to be a part of, and for us to be able to capture that and see all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes, and even just to have that event after being apart from people for so long. Like, I know it was one of those things. It's like you didn't know where to wear your mask, or like who to be around, but it was one of those things that once it went on, it was nice to be around people. And I think obviously there's a deeper meaning to everything, but that for me was a big part of why the day was so nice, was just like being around like-minded people again, and just being in the hockey community again. Just the whole day, we said, it's like, are we really working right now? Like, it's just like, we're telling stories, you're running into guys that you haven't seen in years. And
that's a lot of what we've, seen with the event is, a lot of even the pro guys locally, like some of their old friends that they used to play with, they'd be playing with them when it was hockey and golf. And, for me, selfishly, this has always kind of been a tool for me, as part of that grieving process. It's, stretched it out a long time in a way to deal with some pretty real things. And, to be able to see Jordan's name on the jersey of, guys that he would have idolized growing up with is pretty incredible. And, as his brother, it's something that, I'll cherish that for a long time. And, you go to these, events where, whether it's hockey, whether it's golf, and everyone comes together and everyone's sharing stories. And I've always said it feels like our family's grown exponentially. And it's something that, the community's been there for us to be able to help us throughout this process. And in doing so is going to help other people down the road who are impacted by heart disease. So it's a win-win in my books of, why we do it. And, people are still, being able to talk about Jordan. And that's one of those things that you struggle with when, you lose someone close to you is, things change in life. I've had a daughter since then, and she's 6 months old now. And, there's an uncle that's missing, and there's components to that aren't going to be there, and they're difficult. But the fact that you have a day or something, an initiative that brings him top of mind, it feels like he's still there in a way. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy run for you guys. So on that note, I think this is probably the best time. I'd like to let you announce it if you would like to.
Yeah, sure.
And then just sort of give us some context as to why the decision was made and what this next huge event is going to look like, and then maybe at the end just sort of what the future holds for.
Yeah, definitely.
For the foundation.
So, this year is going to be what we're calling is the final round. So this is our way of going out on top with this golf event and the hockey events that we've done in the community. We feel like the time's right to go out with a bang and go out on our terms. And it's bittersweet. It's something that I've worked on for almost a third of my entire life now. And I think about it, it's like just saying that sounds so crazy, but we want to end things on our terms, but it's not the end of what we're going to be doing to support inherited heart disease research and, our work with the QE2 Foundation. We've had so many great conversations with them about, what we can do beyond this. And so we see this as an opportunity not to become stale and, to have something that will sort of, fade over time and then be done. We're going to go out with a bang and then use this as an opportunity to leverage what we've built over the last 8 or 9 years and do something new and creative and innovative as a way to continue on building Jordan's legacy and making a real impact here. And I think, there's going to be details that we'll be able to share about that as time comes. But for now, we're gearing up for what will be our biggest and best event on July 28th down at Chester Golf Course. It's going to be an incredible experience. And then from there, it's really going to be a wait and see what we have cooking next. So I'm excited about it. There's definitely a lot of emotions, but I think it's when the time is right and you don't want to miss an opportunity to be able to do something more. So the fact that we've raised over $1 million net so far is we would have never have guessed that we would have gotten here. And it's incredible, and it's something that takes an entire community. So we're thankful for that. We're excited for this. And as a family, we can't wait to share what comes next. So looking forward to sharing those details.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I'm excited to obviously be there again this year or this upcoming year, and just to see what you guys have built. I can only imagine what you have coming down the hopper. So for me, it's exciting to we're in there at the ground level and get to kind of witness what's going on and watch that pivot transition into the next move. So it's really it's incredible to see what you guys have built, and the fact that you've raised what you've raised is astonishing, and it's exciting to kind of see where the future's gonna go with the Jordan Boyd Foundation for sure.
Definitely, and I have to give a big shout out to the QE2. Diana McDonald, who very well, has essentially become this adopted sibling to our family. We work so closely on this event. An event that happens in the summer, we started working on it, in December, and the amount of work that happens throughout the year, the entire team of the QE2 Foundation. I put together our first tournament in 6 weeks, sort of with my ideas and then some volunteers that were able to give their time and it's grown into something so big that there's an entire team that works on it, and I'm so thankful because the QE2 has been able to see the vision that we have and understand what we want to do with Jordan's story, and really take it and said, you know what, if this is what you want to do, let's see how we can take it to the next level. And it's something that I'm forever grateful for, and I'm really excited to see what we do together next.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. That's you kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
You kind of nailed it, I think. I don't know. Do you have anything else? I mean,
I guess just to speak on the past, I guess a bit too, is what moments from the tournaments have stood out most with you? Like, I know there's been a lot of like notable players that have obviously come through the tournament. So it's like, for you as someone who's been there since day one, like what's been your most memorable moment so far?
There's so many, and there's some from like on the ice. It was really cool to see Brad and Nate and Liam O'Brien and a lot of these guys that had trained with Jordan, and or guys that Jordan would have looked up to or even had their hockey card of. Right. To see them on the ice, a lot of people don't realize, like, Brad and Jordan knew each other since Brad was, I think, before he was in junior. And when we were kids, he gave us his entire hockey card collection, and I still have that. And I think his Bedford Blues card to this day. It's incredible to see how much support we've gotten from guys like that year over year, to see them wear Jordan's crest, to see... our first all-female team playing the tournament was pretty incredible. We had a team fly over from Beijing and participated in one of our hockey events, which was something I would have never guessed would happen.
How could you?
That's the thing,
You had that on the vision board.
Oh, yeah.
Information.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah,
so we
international.
went, and then,
Across the pond.
aside from that, we had people who got together at the event and started dating, married, had kids, all because they sort of went out after our event and met each other and got to know each other. And that's pretty incredible. So there's so many micro moments that I think for me were pretty incredible. And the last hockey tournament I had, I really soaked up that because I wasn't sure, what would happen. Year to year, you never really know. And so I'm glad I did. Seeing Jordan's banner and when we played in the BMO Center was pretty incredible to see these guys all out there supporting him and his banner raised there. And then aside from that, the golf event, having guys like Rick Bonus out and the beautiful weather, like we had a pocket of rain on either side of that.
Yeah,
and then
one
perfect weather.
one of the nicest days of the summer it was. It was beautiful.
Couldn't have asked for something better. And the support from sponsors and everyone, it's just, there's so many things that stand out to me that I don't even know if I could even pick a favorite moment, but the whole experience to me is just something that I think I'll carry with me forever, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had any
They're definitely a testament to that celebration of life that I think that, as you said, Jordan would have liked. The times that I've been there, just seeing all these people come together that know each other but maybe necessarily don't see each other that much. They all have that connection to Jordan, and they're all connected through hockey or through family or whatever. And when everybody comes together, it's all love. It's one of the happiest events, days of the year, and I think that really speaks a lot to what he meant to everyone and sort of how he lived his life as much as I knew him. And yeah, it's incredible, and I'm super excited to see what's next for you guys.
It's gonna be a fun ride. Just looking back at this, it's been incredible. But I know there's a lot of excitement, in our family to say, what can we do now? And there's a lot of unknowns, but that's something that I think is a welcome challenge. And I think some of the best things that we've been able to do have been, when we've sort of not known what's going to happen or how it's going to go. And I think you guys actually in one of your recent podcasts talked about that. You have clients who will reach out and say, "Can you do this?" You say, "Hey, I'm not really sure, but we'll figure it out."
Yeah,
that's honestly like how this entire tournament started.
Yeah.
It was. I had a couple guys who said, "Yeah, we'll play," and I put out a logo and I said, "Details coming soon," and that's it. And it took off from there, and we figured it out along the way. lot of sketchy video editing on my part for a little while, using a screen recorder and
sure.
I think PowerPoint
Right,
in order to
yeah.
get some player
Get the
announcements
job
out.
done, yeah.
Yeah. So looking back on those, I feel a little cringy looking at them now, but just to see that if you're kind of faced with that challenge and you can kind of take it and run with it and live in that space and feel comfortable there, that's where I think you can get most creative, and people see that and respect it and
For sure.
want to be involved.
For sure. And I think it's that ability to continue to step out of your comfort zone that allows for growth and to learn. And it comes back to a hockey analogy, but it's like your coach always said, if you're not falling, you're not trying hard enough. And I think that can be transferred over into any aspect of life, that if you're not failing, then you're not trying to progress. And I think it's great that you guys have dialed in, got exactly basically achieved what you had set out for, and now you're turning and saying, so what else can we achieve? And I think it's really credible, and it's cool to witness. So
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah, it's fun to be a part of, and I'm glad that we are able to share this story too. I know we said to Kyle, is when Diana reached out and said, is this going to be your demographic? And it's I think it's pretty directly our demographic, that when, I said, it comes back to the day that we just, between the two of us, knew everybody at the golf challenge, and I had never even been to any of the tournaments prior to that, and to already know all that many people was a good feeling. So,
and you guys do an incredible job with the videography, the photography. It's something that I value a lot, because it's something that someday when these events are 5 or 6 years in the past, I can share those images and those videos with my daughter and let her know, this is something that we did and we worked towards. And, this is just going to show you that if you really want something, you can, push yourself and try and achieve it. And look what can happen if you really stick to it. So that's something that I'll definitely, cherish a lot going forward, and something that's that high quality to be able to have that down the road, and is pretty special for me. So thank you guys for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
You know what, I to be honest, I haven't even really thought of it like that. And a lot of the stuff that we do, maybe not a lot, but a good amount of the work that we do is not, it's meaningful in a marketing sense, in a business sense, but to think that, we can help capture that for you and your family and just everybody that knew Jordan moving forward that just kind of caught me off guard. And really think of it like that. And I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Because that's at the core of it. I feel like that's probably why we first got into this sort of thing. And, you lose it a little bit, but to know that we can still make an impact greater than
an Instagram video.
For sure. That's really special to me, and thank you for sharing that, because I appreciate that a lot.
Of course, I think it's something that a lot of the stuff that you see is photos that people are taking the day of the event, and this is just a big time capsule for me. I'm excited for that. It's something that down the road, it's something that I'll be able to look back on and have some real tangible things that I can look at. And memories are great, but as you get older, it's challenging and it fades. And that's something that I'm looking forward to being able to share with our family down the road. And so it is really great. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. You're saying this memory is going to get worse?
My memory. I play this game every day. Where did I put my wallet and my keys?
No.
And it doesn't matter how many times I do it. My wife is like, "Are we playing that game right now?" And I'm like, "Yep, sure are."
Yes, man.
So you need to get a tile. It's a game changer. My roommates always hear me jingling my wallet and my keys all over the house, because I'm the same way, that I'll put them down and just kind of be like, "Oh shit, where did I put that?" And it's a game changer. So that's Christmas is right around the corner. So if your wife's watching, I think Greg needs a tile. So
yeah, it's a good idea, because I was like, I don't think I could commit to wearing one of those carabiners all the time. The little dangly keys. Oh yeah. So
the janitor.
I don't think I could do that, but I do need to do that. So yeah, that is too funny. Yeah.
The weirdest way to end a podcast. Greg, honestly, I just want to thank you for coming on, sharing your story again. Like I said, I'm sure you've shared it a lot, and I hope you continue to do so, because it sounds like you guys have made a huge impact. And for us to be able to help you guys sort of put this out in the world is a huge honor for me, and I know
For sure.
for Riley as well. So yeah, we're stoked to see where this goes, and hopefully we can come along for the ride and
Awesome. Yeah, I
keep
think it's
making
going to be
memories.
great. And, you know, like for anyone who may be watching who's, you know, been impacted by inherited heart disease or has gone through something like that, you know, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, reach out. And, you know, I've learned a lot over the years, and a lot of info from the QE2 and just from our own personal family experience. I welcome anyone to reach out if they ever need to. So thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to talk about this. It's really cool. A super cool space too. So
Appreciate it.
yeah, got me out of the house for a minute.
Appreciate
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we like. Gotta get it every now and then.
yeah,
Stretch your legs a bit.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll let you get back to dad duty, I guess,
Yeah,
though. So,
perfect.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to do a little bit of an outro here. That's kind of been your thing. You go
I
ahead.
guess so. Yeah. Well, thank everybody for who's still watching, for tuning in. You know, this story has been pretty special for us today, and it's a little bit sort of a detour from the first two episodes that were a little bit more
Candid and-
just whatever, like flowing, kind of for fun. But this is something that's, you know, it's important to us, and I hope it, you know, it's important to you guys too. So check out the foundation's website. It's
JordanBoyd.ca.
jordanboyd.ca. We'll put that in the links. Instagram, Facebook, all that. Keep an eye out for announcements moving forward about the tournament. And yeah, thank you guys for listening.
Perfect. Thanks.
Cool. Right? That's
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks, Greg. That was
Yeah, no,
awesome.
that
Yeah,
was great.
yeah,
I
it
like
flowed really well.
the
Cause I got lost control.